Hi, I'm Wilson and welcome to the Science of the Flow State. What I'm going to explain to you today in this series of videos is I'm going to explain the science behind the flow state, and we're going to dissect what actually happens during a flow state experience. If you like, we're going to lift the veil or lift the hood of the car to reveal what's going on under the engine of the flow state. The reason I want to do this is because the style of training that I teach to get yourself into flow state is very useful to understand clearly what is the flow state. It's like a darkened room with the candle lit. The science behind the flow state is that lit candle. It guides you, it tells you what direction to go towards. And that's going to be like our lighthouse for whenever we are in distress or we're in a state of confusion. We use the lighthouse to realign us. The science of the flow state is that candle in the darkened room. But the candle is one important thing. The way you're going to get to that is through training and through the consistent practice of building your awareness of the flow state and your familiarity to how that flow state feels to you. Okay, now we'll get onto that in the coming videos, but for just now, what I want to do is just briefly touch on a few key points that probably attracted you to come and speak to me or come and learn more about the flow state. And it's the few key points that everybody finds quite interesting. The 500% boost in productivity. Now this came from a study with McKinsey and Co. And they did a study on over 10 years on top executives. And what they found is that when they created an environment that produced or triggered the flow in their staff, they were 500% more productive in their day. So what that means is that they could work Monday and take Tuesday to Friday off and still be more productive than they normally would be. And that was creating an environment for them to be triggered into flow state. Okay? The next is between a 290 and 490% boost in learning speed. Now this 290, 490, the numbers have been changing over the coming years, but generally what they're saying is you're going to have a dramatic boost in your learning speed. And this was really picked up by Chris Berka, who did a study with Olympic athletes, archers, and US military snipers. And this was actually a DARPA funded project. And what she was doing was using EE devices to tune the snipers in, or the archers in, to the perfect frequency of brain waves to get them at the optimal state to fire. Okay? There's a sweet spot, and we're going to discuss that. And she was using devices to pull them in that. So that was a combination of devices and sort of stimulations that were saying to the sniper, okay, you're in the right state, fire when ready. Okay? And that type of training produced a 290 to 490 improvement in learning speed and in accuracy, just this dramatic boost. And then you have this 200% boost in creativity. And what this actually did, this creativity also improved your cognitive processes, your attention and vigilance. And this was done by Dr. Zaidan, and he was doing a study on meditation. And what he found was he taught a number of participants how to meditate. And it was a simple breathing meditation. And over just 4 days, they noticed a significant boost in creativity, attention, vigilance. I mean, the numbers it was crazy. But that there just really pushes and blasts everything out the way that we previously understood about the 10,000 hours of mastery. It would say that Caldwell had suggested that it would take 10,000, or Gladwell, sorry, had suggested it would take 10,000 hours to master a skill. And what this is indicating is that when you learn through meditation, through other activities, through other awareness of yourself, to tune yourself into some sort of sweet spot, and that sweet spot is the flow state, where you feel your best and perform your best. This actual definition I love, this came from Stephen Kotler. When the flow state is when you feel your best and perform your best. When you tune yourself into that state on a consistent basis, you'll get a 500% boost in productivity, 490 boost in learning speed, creativity, 200% boost. You also have some very fascinating, exciting things, like you lose your inner critic. No more are you criticizing and analyzing every step that you take. There's a feeling of being at one with everything you're doing, and we're going to explain more why that happens, how that happens, and soon how to get into that. So, welcome to the Science of the Flow State, and I'll see you very soon in the next video. Ciao.